See? Maybe like a little casual stalking.
Hello, you lovely, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I am Cass and I am so excited for this reading vlog because I get to see two of my best friends and it's just gonna be so much fun to see them. Both of them live in Missouri, which is very rude because I live down in Texas. So I'm actually driving up tomorrow to go and visit Lexie, and then I'm surprising Katie on her birthday. Her birthday is this Thursday and she has no idea I'm coming. I talked to her mom and I'm gonna surprise her and spend a couple of days with her and then drive back and hang out with Lexie for the end of the week as well. So super exciting plans. But in terms of reading, I also am kind of very excited for my reading plans as well. I have just a small TBR because I don't know how much reading I'm going to be doing, but the drive is like 10.5 hours, so I definitely have time for an audiobook or two. And so in that, I have Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I have read Throne of Glass and I have reread Throne of Glass many a times, and I just had this overwhelming urge to pick up this book again recently, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fight the urge. I'm gonna embrace it. So I have the audiobook on Libby. I think it'll be fun for my drive to keep me entertained, to keep me awake because I do not want to be falling asleep. And then the other audiobook I have is actually, I have no idea what it's called. It's the second Assassin's Apprentice book by Robin Hobb. I recently finished the first book, Assassin's Apprentice, for Katie and I's book club, Wyverns and Words, and I found the audiobook. It was available on Libby and I was like, perfect. I will listen to that on some of my drive as well. Hopefully it does not put me to sleep because Robin Hobb's writing is a little bit more wordy than I typically would enjoy, but hopefully listening to it in the audiobook format will be good for me. And then the other book I have is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, although I'm like doubting if I should pack this because it is a library book and if I lose it, I'll have to just replace it. But hopefully I won't lose it. I haven't ever lost a library book. Knock on wood. I'll jinx myself straight out in the gates here. But Vicious by V.E. Schwab, it follows two college students who end up getting involved in some supernatural things. So excited to dive more into V.E. Schwab. I do want to pick up The Darker Shades of Magic pretty soon here, especially since the Fragile Threads of Power by her is coming out later this month. I think it'll be fun to dive into the universe of The Darker Shades of Magic. I know this isn't, but I just need, I don't know, I just want to read it. And Katie says it's good, so I thought, why not read a book that she likes when I go and visit her. I don't know, I'm excited. We might do some book shopping. We probably, let's be honest, will do some book shopping. So I don't know what else I will end up picking up, but I am literally ecstatic to go visit my friends. The cherry on top is that this Saturday, so next Saturday, because it is Saturday, whatever, I'm going to the Kansas City Renaissance Festival, or like Missouri something Renaissance Festival. I can't remember what exactly like festival it is, but I'm going to another Renaissance Festival, and if you don't know, they are like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I love them so much, and I've only gone to like a small local one. It's 2 hours away, so it's not very local, but I've only gone to the Scarborough Renaissance Festival here in Texas, and I'm so excited to experience a new Renaissance Festival. I hope I can find a cartography booth and like draw inspiration from their maps and just appreciate the cartography. And that is basically my little TBR. I'm not packing many books because like I said, I figured that we're gonna go book shopping and I probably will just spend time hanging out and like socializing with Lexie and Katie since I don't get to see them very often since we live 10.5 hours away from each other. So that is the plan. I need to actually go and pack and get ready, which is so, I hate packing. Oh, that I'm not excited about, but I'm not flying, which means I can just pack as much shit as I want. So that's exciting. Hello, I am now in Missouri, which is lovely. Lexie went to class, so I basically have all day by myself because she has class and then a concert. But I just wanted to do a little reading update because I ended up finishing the entirety of Throne of Glass on my way to Missouri. I listened to the audiobook at 2 times speed and I just wanted to give my little like reread thoughts on it. The last time I reread the series was back in 2021, so it's been almost like 2 years since I've picked this back up. I think it's really interesting because like there's a lot of like people that like really dislike Sarah J Maas's writing, and it's easy to kind of fall into being like, yeah, no, I see it's like not that good. But for what it's worth, like the age that she wrote this at and the world and the universe that she set up straight from book one is so impressive. And yes, there are little cheesy moments that get me kind of like cringing, just a smidge. But overall, I did really enjoy this book. It was a little difficult for me to remain fully invested and focused because one, I was really bored on the drive and I kept zoning out. When you've reread this book, it's not that exciting because all the events that transpire, not much time passes in this book. I think it's like 13 weeks total. And so like not much really goes down, and you really do take this like mostly day by day, and you're informed of every event, every like competition that transpires. And as for like the two love interests in this book, specifically Kale and Dorian, I was trying to think back on when I first read this book, which like team I was. Honestly, I can't remember. Knowing what I know now, I have my own like opinions and thoughts about their characters, but I think for like this book, I was definitely team, I don't know actually. I think Kale, because he was more subtle with his flirting than Dorian was. I think the main complaints that a lot of people have for this book is the fact that it follows Selena and the fact that she's an assassin, and the amount of times that she gets like snuck up on in this book is actually kind of ridiculous. I thought it was only like once or twice, but there's like 4 or 5 occasions where like Kale or Dorian like enter her room and she's completely unaware of the fact that like someone else is in the room with her. And I'm like, Queen of the Assassins for sure. I am really excited to like continue this series, but I needed another book. And I know that I set my TBR to be Throne of Glass, whatever the freaking second book of the Assassin's Apprentice is called, still can't remember the name of it, and Vicious. But at the very last minute, I ended up packing A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. Just as a last minute, maybe I'll pick that up. And I realized that Katie had the audiobook borrowed on Libby, and we share a Libby account. And I was like, don't mind if I do. So I started A River Enchanted, and the fun thing is that the narrator has a Scottish accent, and I really, really love the narrator for this book. And I will probably continue listening to the audiobook throughout today. It is due today though, so I do have just today to finish reading it or listen to as much as I can and then finish it through like the physical copy. But I don't know if it's just because of the narrator and how much I love her accent, or if it's just I'm enjoying the world and like the universe that it's set in. But I'm on chapter 9, which is page 148. I really love how slow the buildup is. We basically are following a few different characters. Jack primarily, he basically was sent to the mainland 10 years ago to become a bard and play his harp, and then he gets summoned back to his island. And basically the island is divided into 2 clans, the Tamerlane clan and the Brecken clan, and they've been at odds like forever. It kind of reminds me of that one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you know what I'm talking about, when the 2 tribes are trying to like do the crossing and they both just like despise each other because of like the years and years of history that they have. But it's a really interesting setup. We're basically following Jack and Adira as they are searching for missing girls that have been taken from the island. They think by spirits, and I love the way that the spirits work. There's like water spirits and fire and earth and wind. It's just very magical, and I'm actually enjoying the slow pace, which I don't typically say for books, but I think it could be the narrator is just so good that I'm enjoying the slower pace. Balancing the mystery of the stolen girls, the mystery of the spirits, as well as like the political situations between the 2 clans, as well as Jack battling with his identity as someone who basically grew up on the mainland instead of on the island, and battling with kind of who he is and who he was and interacting with people that he used to know. I don't know if there's gonna be a romance in this. I genuinely don't know. I think it'd be cool as long as it's set in the back, which I think it is. It does not seem to be set in the forefront of the plot. It definitely is very magical, very whimsical, and I am really enjoying Rebecca Ross's writing, and I'm really excited to hopefully get my hands on Divine Rivals. I've heard that this book is slower than Divine Rivals, so I'm definitely excited to dive into a world that is faster paced written by her, but I am enjoying the slower pace of this book. I just wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I also went into this book literally knowing nothing about it. I remember when I was at the library picking this up, I had read the summary of it and then just nabbed it just because I was like, it is Rebecca Ross. I do want to read other books by her. So I just kind of nabbed it up. So when I started the audiobook, not a clue at what this is about. So I really have enjoyed the slow introduction to the world and the universe and seeing kind of what we're following. It's really, really magical, really whimsical, and it's just so fun. The thought of like an enchanted island with all these spirits, that they could be good or bad, and it's just been a really, really fun time so far. But that is my little reading update for yesterday. I was going to vlog yesterday, but I spent 10.5 hours in a car driving and I hated every minute of it, I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you about my plans for today. Like I said, I am actually alone for the majority of today. I am going to probably find a coffee shop to work at, or I'm going to actually go to the university's like library. I just hate the thought of finding parking. I had to do street parking the other day for something and I despise street parking with a passion. So hopefully don't have to do that. But I'm here, those are my reading updates, and I will update you later. I managed to get a little bit more reading done. I think I'm like maybe an hour and a half further into the audiobook. I'm not sure what chapter I'm on here. Chapter 13. So I actually made quite a bit of decent progress. I did a little bit of crocheting. I sat outside for a little bit and then I got hot. I went inside for a little bit. I just have a massive headache and I just need to go and take a nap. It's only like 11. I did wake up at like 7 this morning though because Lexie had to go to class, so she had to wake up early. And her cat was meowing so aggressively all morning, so I could not fall back asleep. So, massive headache. I'm gonna go back to the apartment and relax a little bit, but I did want to give my update on just some things that have transpired in River Enchanted. I think it's really interesting about the direction that something had gone. Basically, we're at a point where politically we're trying to kind of fix the two clans, kind of like bring them together, and there's a situation, I want to keep it vague, obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a situation where something needed to occur before the two clans could essentially like meet up and like discuss potential alliances to like bring the island together. And I freaking loved that scene so much. I didn't realize how much I've really grown to enjoy these characters until that scene. Then I was like, wow, they're just so different from any character that I feel like I've ever read about. They feel very unique and peculiar, and I just love them. It's really fun, but like I said, massive headache and I need to go desperately. I will say though, last little tidbit was this morning when I was walking to the coffee shop. It was around 9 in the morning, and the autumn breeze, the crisp air, the smell of nature as I was walking. I had to park like 5 minutes away from the coffee shop because, like I said, I refuse to pay for street parking, and I hate street parking so much. So I like drove around until I could find a place where I could park for free, basically. But the feeling of cool breeze was so refreshing, and it just made me so happy and excited that I get to spend the whole week in Missouri in the beginning of autumn and experience like some nice weather. It feels like autumn. What a concept.
Early to Jack, tunic, plaid, belt, soft boots tethered up to his knees. Torrin pacing on the hill, eager for a reason to arrive, and Murray's guards, Jack's demise were also not far from the coast. The crate bumping against his Tell me what enchantedly do you long for, and I will have it forged to you. The room is quiet, studying Miss Fatler. No campus charge you could ask for.
Mosey. Not my fault you bought 3 books.
Yeah, it is.
I saw it earlier.
The gold foiling and the spray pages.
Well, hello there. Welcome to a reading update. I don't know why I started this update as if I was like restarting the vlog, but I'm not. Hello, Menace. You gonna say hello? Nymphadora is here. This is Lexie's cat. I call her Demon and Menace. Oh, she's in my lap. Oh, no longer in my lap. Let's talk about A River Enchanted, because guess who finished this last night? I did finish the rest of the audiobook, so didn't even crack this didn't even crack this sucker open once. There was, however, a line that I did want to find, so I found it. Also, sorry if I'm like really bright or orange. I have a lamp on. Anyways, the little bit of romance that I was thinking would happen, happened. I don't want to spoil like which characters I'm talking about, even though it's like kind of obvious which characters I'm talking about. Listen to this. I tell myself I should remain guarded against you even as we are fastened together, and yet another side of me believes that you and I could make something of this arrangement, that you and I are complements, that we are made to clash and sharpen each other like iron, that you and I will stay bound together by that which is nameless and runs deeper than vows until the very end, when the isle takes my bones into the ground and my name is nothing but memory carved into a headstone. Ah! I love them so much. I love the amount of love in this book. We don't just get like a new romance plot, we also get to see old romance rekindled. We get to see the love between parent and child, and we just get so much. This world was so beautiful, and I loved being able to slip into it and just really enjoyed my time reading this. I am quite pleased with how the first book ended. I did not know it was a duology, but I am glad it's only a duology. I think the plot twist at the end, there was like 2 separate twists. One about the reveal about whose Jack father was, and I think that one was fairly obvious. I did see that one coming, but the plot twist with, do not shake my this is why I call you Demon. Quit shaking my camera. The cat wishes for attention, as it always does. The plot twist with one of the other characters I didn't quite see coming until near the end of the book. I did really enjoy the end when certain spirits were summoned. Jack kind of goes through summoning different spirits. First he starts with the water, and then the earth, and then the wind, and it was very interesting to see how all the different spirits acted. Can we not do that? No, you're acting like Winnie. It was really cool to see kind of how all the different spirits acted and how the hierarchy of spirits happened. We got a lot of backstory and history about the spirits through folktales, which I think was cool to then read about a folktale and then see an action parallel that. I thought that was kind of a cool way to tell the story. I will be buying this book, probably the UK cover though, because this US cover is really ugly, and this is just obviously the library version, but I will eventually buy this book. I just cannot right now. As you saw, to start the day off, Lexie and I went to Skylark, which I've actually been there 3 times now, and it's one of my favorite, well, I say one of my favorite indie bookstores here, but it's the only indie bookstore that I've been to in Missouri, in Columbia. It's so quaint and cute, and the shop employees were, as always, just the sweetest people. I swear booksellers truly are just like the most kind-hearted people that you can have interactions with. Also, this like little like hangy thing that I'm in, I'm like on the ground basically. Like it has like little legs and I'm like on top of the legs. I don't know what happened. Also like the little like top part, I'll just show you. Basically like this little top part like hits up against the wall and then I'm I'm like literally on the ground. Like see this bit? I'm on the ground. That's a really fancy lamp I was talking about too. That makes me very yellow. That is my little update though. I really do like this little hangy thing. I wish I was like elevated off of the ground though. I'm going to go and just crochet. I might listen to my audiobook or I might just put something on the TV. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something, but I'll talk to you when I have a reading update. Hello, we are taking a brief intermission back in time, back at home, in order to discuss Hey Happiness. Now, Hey Happiness is a jewelry company that focuses on sustainability. I think their mission is so cool. For every piece of jewelry bought, they plant one tree, and we love trees. To celebrate the kickoff of fall, Hey Happiness sent me the Luminar earring set, which is absolutely stunning. I am so obsessed, and you will actually see me wear the pieces throughout this entire video, stacked with other jewelry, which I absolutely love, jewelry that goes with so many other pieces. And for the next month, Hey Happiness is providing a lovely, lovely discount for all of you. So between October 9th and November 9th, you can use the code Cassandra10 to get 10% off of your orders over 29 euros. Also, for the next week from October 9th to October 13th, they will be providing some free surprise gifts. One surprise gift for orders over 49, 2 for orders over 99, and 3 for orders over 129. And the best part is you can get the discount and the free gifts. They are not exclusive to one or the other. All the information will be linked below, so be sure you check out Hey Happiness and shop some of their collections, and thank you Hey Happiness for sending me this set. Hello, today's Wednesday and it's kind of a chill, casual day. I'm again alone for most of the day. I am going to gymnastics with Lexie and her friend April tonight, which is so exciting because I had so much fun last year doing gymnastics for like a couple hours, and so I'm excited again today. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on Vicious. I did start it and I'm on chapter 8, page 43. Now, so far we've been introduced to a lot of vague plot points and characters, and it's very, very interesting how the timeline of this book is going, because we started in the present where they're like digging a grave. Victor and Sydney, they're digging a grave. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then we go back 10 years earlier where we're talking about Victor and Eli in college picking their thesis. And then we get introduced to the concept of EOs, like extraordinary, right? Which apparently is kind of an equivalent of superheroes, like people with superpowers, essentially. And they're not really thought to exist. They're kind of viewed almost like we view aliens, like, okay, sure, like they might exist, they might not exist, but there's no like solid facts other than like blurry screen captures. But what really is interesting is then we flash forward to the fact that Victor was in prison and Eli was not, and getting the gist that Eli put Victor in prison. And I'm just confused but excited in the way that the timelines keep going back and forth, because in the present day, when, you know, Victor's digging a grave, we're kind of clued into the fact that Eli might have done something to Victor. He's like leaving a whole message for him, and I'm really confused but excited. I will say the back and forth timeline is a little bit annoying, especially because I'm listening to the audiobook right now. So if I zone out when they say which chapter and which time period we're at, it takes me a minute to like reorient myself. We literally were like, okay, present day, and then back in time 10 years, and then back to the present day, but like 2 days before the present day. And then we went 3 days back before the present day. And so it's just very interesting how we're almost telling the story backwards. And I'm really curious to see if we're gonna like meet in the middle, almost. I'm not sure. Like I said, it gives a lot of intrigue when you're kind of told things in a vague manner of something happens, but you don't know what. And then we're back in the past where the characters are on good terms. So then I have that intrigue of what goes down to make these characters not like each other. like they kind of do. I am just sitting here and crocheting. I feel like I've crocheted literally so much, and this is the progress on my pillowcase that my hook. Okay, we're good, we're good. It's cute. I don't actually have the pillow with me to like measure or if it'll fit or not. I had a lot of fun doing repetitive movements while listening to my audiobooks, but like I said, super chill day, not much going on, so I'm probably just gonna read and crochet until I get bored. Like liquid just slid right out of my hands. Hello! I'm here to speak about Vicious because I actually sat on the couch and finished the entire book, which I wasn't really planning on doing it. I was crocheting and listening to the audiobook, but then I've reached a point in my pillowcase project. Sorry, Nymphadora is like circling me. I've reached a point in my crochet project where I don't know how many more rows I need to do because I don't actually have the actual like pillow with me to measure. So instead, I scrolled on TikTok for like 2 hours before finally convincing myself to sit and pick up Vicious, and I ended up reading the rest of it in one go. There's like 2 different blurbs. There's like the full blurb on Goodreads, in which I feel like it gives a little bit more context to the plot of this book, but this is the plot of the book that I got from this tiny 1-paragraph blurb. Victor and Eli started out as college roommates, brilliant, arrogant, lonely boys who recognized the same sharpness and ambition in each other. In their senior year, a shared research interest in adrenaline, near-death experiences, and seemingly supernatural events reveals an intriguing possibility that under the right conditions, someone could develop extraordinary abilities. But when their thesis moves from academic to experimental, things go horribly wrong. And that is all I was given for this book. There's no mention of the part where, you know, Victor breaks out of prison, but it's mentioned on the Goodreads, like full blurb. So going into this, I thought this entire book took place in an academy setting while they're at college, and if things go wrong, they're like fighting over whether or not they should continue with their thesis, that sort of thing. Boy, was I wrong. I should have known better, especially with like the 10 years back and forth situation with the timeline. I definitely feel like I went into this book with pretty high expectations, especially since, one, it's a V.E. Schwab book, and I've heard like wonderful things about this book, obviously, but it wasn't really my favorite. It was okay. I did end up giving it 4 stars, but honestly, it's a low 4 stars, probably closer to a 3.75, but I did round up on Goodreads. It was a fun plot. Definitely very fast paced, kept me intrigued the whole time, obviously enough to have me read it in basically one sitting. None of the characters I really like connected to, and I think that was the problem for me. It was really interesting though, where the first half of the book, you feel like you're almost in the villain's shoes until you gain the full narrative, and then that sort of swaps your perspective. So it was really interesting how V.E. Schwab kind of controlled your perspective of events up until the change in perspective almost. And you can sympathize for many of these characters, but I definitely, in terms of like all of the characters, Serena was my favorite. I think she was definitely the most interesting in terms of her kind of superpower, and the backstory with her sister was also really fascinating, who was also another character that I enjoyed. But in terms of Victor and Eli, I didn't really like either of them, which I think was kind of the point, but regardless. Still, it felt very thematic for the October season. I know it's not October yet, it is still the last week of September, but I'm also kind of plowing through my TBR for this video, which is shocking. I will say, I have the audiobook for the second, it's called Royal Assassin, I figured out. The second Assassin's Apprentice is called Royal Assassin. And I thought about reading it. And then I thought otherwise, because I just don't feel like it at this point. Diving into that particular high fantasy is something that I think I'm gonna have to just like take a break from, take it slowly with that series. Robin Hobb is not an author that I feel like I can just dive easily into. I'm just hoping that I don't wait too long before trying to continue the series, because I have a habit of just like forgetting everything that goes down in book 1. So hopefully that does not happen. We're at like a midway point of my potential TBR here. Like I said, I've already finished Throne of Glass. I finished A River Enchanted. I finished Vicious. That was my whole TBR for this video, basically. A River Enchanted wasn't even on it. It kind of like replaced Royal Assassin though. Potential books. 1, the second, A Fear in the Flame. I feel like that's not it though. Hold on. Fire Endless, which is book 2 of the A River Enchanted duology. I think it's called Elements of Cadence. duology. So that's gonna complete the series. And if I don't listen to it within the span of the next couple of days, when I drive home on Sunday, I definitely will be listening and finishing that book. So there's so many potential books I can pick up though. I don't have any other physical books with me. I could do a little bit of a rating in terms of Lexie's bookcase, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to peruse Libby, see if I can pick up another audiobook, but I don't actually know. Sitting here, I realized that I have no more physical copies. I only brought A River Enchanted and Vicious because I didn't think I was gonna get that much reading done, but I've literally done so much reading that I was not expecting to. So this is gonna be a long one. I will let you know when I have some updates in terms of my rest of week TBR. Like I said, I'm meeting up with Katie tomorrow, surprising her tomorrow, and hanging out with her on Friday. And I know she's really busy, so we'll probably like end up doing some work, and I'll probably end up reading and crocheting some more. I don't know, I'm almost out of yarn, so I can't even do that. I'm running out of things to do, but I'll update you later.
Now that I've read like the Rebecca Ross book, if you like, I think I really like it. At least once. Fair. Honestly, I'm so glad. I mean,
I thought I had balanced out the crickets.
I really do want to read her other series, but I don't want to. So topical. Wait, no, it made better noise now. Swap. And I'm reading
The mass market. I love the tiny mass markets that are like so thick.
Look at how tiny this text is.
It's actually pretty tiny.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it.
The deckled edges. Oh, and the face. I thought that was smoke. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I'm just gonna move in because I really like this background. Hello everyone. I have acquired a Katie.
Hi.
She's here, I swear. She's editing and for some reason does not want me sitting and watching her edit. For some ridiculous reason. But we did go book shopping. We managed to both buy 0 books. So honestly, kind of proud of us. Not gonna lie. It's staring at me!
5 seconds ago.
But since I have no more like physical books to read, I thought I'd let Katie pick out one of her books for me to read. So,
I love having control.
do you want to take over it, Katie?
Yeah. Hello, friends. It's time for me to pick Cassandra a book. Do you have any, like...
Something that I could read within the weekend.
Oh my god. Hey.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
We're watching this tomorrow.
Whoa, I'm so excited.
Intermission. So fun.
God, I don't know. You know, it's so cute.
It's a blush.
Oh, it's so cute.
I keep
Okay, so I
myself
think
entertained.
There's gonna be an option.
Okay.
It's not fantasy.
Didn't you just say that you don't think I like this book?
That's why you have options.
We were literally just talking about, I was like, do you think I would like this book? And she's like, I don't know, it's really heavy on Shakespeare and I like classics and I don't know if you would like it. Because I'm not a big classics girly.
It's an option.
Oh, okay. Anatomy, a love story. Recently, Katie has read this.
Indeed.
She did a 4-star.
4 stars.
Yeah, see, I know things. Do you know things? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?
Actually, that's kind of a package deal. Oh, actually, I do have a good one. Actually. Fantasy, but it's good for fall.
I said, choose one book, maybe 2. Give me just a couple options. And she gave
5
me
options.
5.
These are a package deal.
So we have Vampire Academy, which leads into a very long series. We have the graphic novel of Twilight. We have like our actual like I
These
feel
are,
like
legit
genuine
picks.
like options. Anatomy, a love story. I'm tempted to pick this up. Isn't it kind of like Victorian?
It's 1817 in Edinburgh.
There we go. See, I don't even have to read it. Just ask. And then we have the little like prequel, or no, not a prequel.
It's
like a post-novella.
kind of. It's like a...
It follows a little
I'd call it like a sequel novella of sorts.
sequel novella.
This is very like cozy fantasy, I'd say.
I just wasn't that invested in Sorcery of Thorns. But we also have an Enchantment of Ravens. So I think what I'm gonna do is try the first chapter of both of these and see what I jive with the most.
See what we're driving.
But I think I'm gonna relinquish.
No, I wanted you to read the Twilight graphic novel.
You know what? I could fly through these. We could do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's go.
I'm gonna read the Twilight freaking graphic novels.
I win.
And then I'm gonna try these and I'll let you know. But as revenge, I will in fact be staring a little bit at Katie editing just to make her uncomfortable. So,
Do it, bitch.
which one do you think I'm gonna choose?
Well, I have
But don't
one,
actually tell me.
I have
actually,
one that
point.
I'm hoping you're gonna choose.
Okay, point. I'm not looking.
Okay,
Okay. So the prediction has been made.
Yes.
But we'll see if she is right or not.
we'll see.
We'll see. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be cackling all the way through this.
No, that's definitely like that's how you have to read it. This is perfect prep because we are gonna watch the movie.
Oh my god,
tomorrow.
how topical.
How topical.
Is this a friendly smile? The hunter smiled in a friendly way. Let's talk about these masterpieces briefly. Honestly, not much to say about them. I realize that this weekend I'm going to consume the most amount of Twilight I've ever consumed in my life.
Hell yeah.
So, it was definitely something. I had to take a break, like a brief break between part 1 and part 2. I definitely enjoyed part 1 a little bit more. Before we get in like the thick of the plot, the cringy flirting, the biology scene, the just straight up running away and just being cringy, it's fun. I see why Katie enjoys them so much, but you know,
I wouldn't say I loved those that much.
I'm
but-
just saying Twilight in general.
Alright.
It's a silly, goofy, fun time. I'm gonna be honest, this like made me need a break from reading. So I think I'm just gonna take that break. I have now made my selection of what I'm going to spend my time reading. I read the prologue in chapter 1 of Anatomy, a Love Story to start. And while I do think that this book has some potential, I read the first like 2 chapters of An Enchantment of Ravens, and this is the vibe. Katie says, and she quotes,
It is the perfect... Wait, I'm holding my hands really weirdly right now.
Katie says, and she quotes,
It is the perfect book for fall. So I'm really happy she chose this one.
yeah, so
Just hold it in the back.
I've really enjoyed it so far. I don't quite understand exactly what like the craft is, but they're painting. I'm like, ooh, artsy. I love that. So that's my thoughts.
This is my craft.
So I'm excited to kind of see, and it's a standalone, which I love.
And it's pretty short.
And it's pretty short, so I think realistically I could finish it this weekend. So now Katie's gonna read me chapter 3.
Mickledairy Audio presents An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. Read for you by me, Katie the reading. I still had no idea when the prince might arrive.
Also, they're short chapters, which I love. Maybe. There it is.
As you flip through like 30 to get to my
I was
chapter.
like, wait a minute. There are,
I promise they're short
they
chapters.
seem short, I swear. Hello, good morning. Today is Friday.
Friday.
Which is exciting, but also a little sad because it means the trip is slowly drawing to a close. But we're not thinking about that because
I was gonna say, we're not even like halfway through yet.
today we are hanging out with Katie. We're going book shopping again. I know we did yesterday.
But we're actually gonna buy some stuff today.
Yes.
We're gonna buy each other books today.
We are, which
gonna be
is
fun.
super exciting. So we'll have like a little segment in which Katie will steal my camera and go scavenger hunting for a book. And then obviously I'll do the same for her. We just filmed I keep wanting to say one line challenge.
Filmed the first sentence challenge like
did
12
do
months
that.
ago.
We guessed books based off of their 1-star reviews.
It was super fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
And we'll have those videos up
Eventually.
At
some point in
they'll
time.
be linked below when they are.
Links
or they'll just
below,
be on the
guys.
channel.
Yeah.
You know how it be.
You all know.
Yeah.
You already know. Yeah.
They know.
They know.
They're smart.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, you know.
But you need to go watch it.
Yeah.
After you finish this video.
Of
Anyways,
course.
so book shopping, food, reading.
Katie, can I say that?
KB.
Katie might be doing some studying instead of reading.
TLS.
TLS.
BLS.
No elaboration needed.
No.
None.
The girlies that no.
BDSLM. BDSLB. That was the one.
BDSLB.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how it goes.
Yeah, you all know.
I don't think they do though. But
No,
that's
I think-
okay. No context. Anyway, let's go.
It's okay that you don't know.
This is why my vlogs are never cozy and relaxing.
Attention customers, please stop being weird in the adult section.
Why does this look identical to the American Roommate Experiment? You can tell me that was the American. I love her book.
What are you doing here?
I have to read.
This book is too thin for it to last as long as it did.
Thoughts on the cover?
Like, look, cartoonish wise, it's fine. But like this color of mint green, I'm blinded.
I don't like vlogging in public.
We are in Barnes & Noble,
We are.
and we're gonna do a little fun little thing.
We're gonna. Yep.
Basically, we're
Care to
going,
elaborate?
we're gonna buy books for each other. Okay, basically, we're going to choose 3 books for each other to choose from. So like, we're not gonna buy all 3. We're gonna give each other some options, and then we
Selection.
have to buy one of the options. Basically, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
So we're gonna like We're gonna like give each other our cameras.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
I do it, and then we'll like take you guys through the thought process.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
How is this so fun? I have no idea what I'm gonna get Cass yet. I'm thinking I might grab How to Lose the Time War because she mentioned it like 5 minutes ago, so we could go do that. Let's go do that. Okay, so I got that one. I also have Icebreaker because she also mentioned this like earlier today, but I don't know where I'm gonna go from here. Maybe something sci-fi. That could be interesting. I think she kind of is wanting to get into sci-fi. Definitely not where I am right now, like mysteries and thrillers, not gonna cut it. I don't know, I'm gonna go scope out the sci-fi, I think. Okay, so I abandoned sci-fi in favor of picking up A Study in Drowning instead because she also mentioned this recently. Also, Cass was in the sci-fi section, so I had to scoop. But she mentioned this a few days ago. I'm super excited about it, so maybe she's excited about it. I don't know. But here are my selections, and I'm gonna go find her now. Maybe like a little casual stalking. Could be fun. Also, if you want to know, I'm kind of hoping she chooses A Study in Drowning, so let's go. She's apparently not done. She only has one book and I already have my 3, but whatever, it's fine. Now we can just hang out a little bit. You know, how are you guys doing? I think I'm doing pretty good, you know, pretty good. Oh, these are so cute. Look at the little Pusheen, he's so cute. Soft and squishy. Can attest to that. Oh, it's a little avocado. This is so cute. Oh, okay, I need to stop that. I have Cass's selections.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
First of all, we have This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Oh my god, wow.
I know, it's really
Gasp. I literally, when we were walking earlier, I was like, oh, I really want to read this book.
So I took that as an opportunity. Next up we have Icebreaker.
Oh my gosh, wow, this is so unexpected because when I walked in here, every half price we went to, I was like, I kind of want to read Icebreaker.
Yeah, but you didn't say it in Barnes & Noble.
True.
And then the last one, I was studying German. By Ava Reed.
Ooh.
I do love the cover of that one. It's very pretty.
It's a good selection. Yeah. All of these I have mentioned and I've heard of. And
I wanted to make sure they were things that you'd be interested in.
I tried the same, except for I was like, you have been unhinged with your book buying.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm like, she's probably already bought all the books that she wants. Since I've already bought a little like romance book, Icebreaker's at the table.
Okay.
We'll skip on the Icebreaker. This Is How You Lose a Time War. I feel like I have to be very like in the mood for it.
Okay.
But this is giving like fall.
Yeah.
This is giving.
It's giving fall. It's giving Study in Drowning.
It's giving.
Dark
It's giving.
academia.
It's on my on my TBR.
Yeah, it's just giving.
It's just giving.
So there we
is
go.
This the book that you wanted me to choose?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at me go. Hello. We are back. Katie's right behind me.
Hello.
We went to like 3 different bookstores. We went to 2 half prices and Barnes and Noble. And we both managed to buy like very few books. I think being around each other, we showed some restraint. I don't know. Something we don't typically show. Katie bought 3 books. I bought 2. It was pretty good. First, I picked up The Long Game by Elena Armas. I am really excited about this book simply because I do really love the other books by Elena Armas. It's definitely not a book I would gravitate towards if it wasn't written by her. So that's like the only thing that's keeping me going. But I love a good small town like romance redemption situation. I think it'll be cute. Hopefully just fun. The cover is very violently mint though. Like Katie was not wrong.
It hurts my eyes.
And then second, you kind of saw Katie. I don't know what she did on my camera or what she said, but we had the little choosing a book for each other. And I showed her like my second, like my almost choice for her, which was 10,000 Stitches. And I just thought she already owned this book, but she didn't. So she changed her choice to 10,000 Stitches, which is super fun. But then for me, you saw that I ended up picking A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. This is a new release and one that I'm very excited about. It screams fall if you listen close enough. Honestly, both of these books I see myself picking up in the future. Obviously not this vlog. I do have an Enchantment of Ravens sitting here that I want to commit to, but I have to like commit to this to finish it before I leave because I don't own this book. So we'll see what happens in the next like 5 minutes of us deciding what we're doing. That is just my mini haul for the book shopping that we did and the shenanigans we were up to. Hello, it is in fact much later. I made it 88 pages into the Enchantment of Ravens, and then I promptly like passed out for 2 hours. Katie was studying for her midterm and I just didn't want to interrupt, and I have a habit of just saying shit and chatting and distracting people, and I promised I wouldn't, so the safest option for me was just pass out. And that's my story. That's what we're sticking with. So far, it's been very interesting. We're following Isabel as she is a portrait artist. It is her craft, which I think has no magical... Hey?
Hi.
Which I think has no like magical qualities that I know of yet. It's definitely implied that the craft is possibly magic because fairies can't do it. I could be totally wrong. Anyway, she's a artist who paints portraits, and one day she is commissioned by the Autumn Prince to paint his portrait. And apparently she puts a little bit too much detail. You know, maybe she put too many pimples on him or something. I don't know. Something happened and now she's being whisked away for a trial. That's kind of where we're at. They have been hunted by the hunt a little bit, kind of escaping. It's like fast-paced but slow-paced. It's like a weird pacing of what's going on, but the vibes of autumn are immaculate. They pass through Autumnland. Why did I say it weird like that? Autumnland? Autumnland? It was just so fun. I was like, yes, the crispy leaves. The crispy leaves. The descriptions are very they're hidden. However, we're not reading any more of this tonight, because we're gonna be watching Twilight,
Whoa!
which Katie is very excited about.
Let's freaking go.
As one can assume.
Hey.
So this actually like might be the end of An Enchantment of Ravens. I might like not read any more of this book because I obviously can't take it with me. If I can
Get the
find it,
audiobook.
that's what I was thinking.
Probably available on Libby.
There we go. I might pick up the audiobook on Libby. I will be updating you about Twilight, so there's that. How are we feeling?
Feeling funky and fresh.
Funky and fresh. So let's go watch some Twilight.
Woo! Of course.
Time, everybody agrees. Wait, we gotta get the ASMR.
That's like the worst wine ASMR. It's just unscrewing the cap. Big guy,
So
right?
silly goofy.
You're laughing at like nothing right now.
Some tiny cactus she was holding. That's so funny.
You missed my Bella impression.
Is that good? No, she brought the cactus! Right?
Right?
I love Anna Kendrick. Oh my god. Collins.
This time.
Oh my god. Wait, I'm so excited. He looks like he has to poop.
That's like the sweepingest of angles right there.
God, the angles are as quirky as Bella. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
No, we're different.
Oh my god.
Wait.
It's the skin of a killer. Kill people.
Girl, your standards are so low. Where the hell have you been, Logan?
Oh wait, no, we are gonna have to go back. See, you like Cass, don't you?
This is Edwin, in case anyone's wondering.
He's been named, he's been dubbed Sir Edwin.
So,
What's your
that was my take. That was it. That was my review. I was trying to be like, you know.
Yeah, it went on for too long.
Yeah.
Much like
It
this
was,
movie.
yeah. That's also how every single shot of Twilight went. There were so many close-ups though, and so much silence So many like awkward pauses.
So too many spots that needed music that did not have music.
Just breathing. Just Bella and Edward breathing.
It was mainly the shot of them making out.
I mean, I'm glad I watched it. I seriously had not seen it before. I was like, maybe I've seen like enough clips to kind of like piece together the whole movie.
You've never seen enough clips of
No,
Twilight to say
until
you've seen the
now.
whole movie.
I am sad that Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca, was not in this.
It's a new moon.
Yeah.
We could watch it.
No, we couldn't.
I don't want to watch it.
You would fall asleep. You don't like Jacob.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. New moon's kind of growing on me.
You heard it here first, folks. What the fuck?
What can I say?
Alright, but that is it for tonight. Fancy. Hello, we are home now, which is very sad, but also very happy because I was dreading the 10.5-hour drive. It was rough, but on that drive, I did end up finishing An Enchantment of Ravens, so I did want to kind of give an update on that and then wrap up this vlog because the adventure is over. So Enchantment of Ravens, I ended up giving a low 3 stars. The vibes were there, okay? They were fun. They traveled through Autumnland, like I had mentioned, and the vibes were just very nice. I loved it. The plot was a mess. There was no plot, essentially. The magic system was not like fully fleshed out. There were things that were very confusing. The massive battle that happened at the end was kind of fun, but in terms of the plot, it was nowhere in sight. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely gave me vibes of like a T. Kingfisher book in a weird way, but more light, where the vibes and the descriptions are very fun, but the plot is questionable at best. Granted, I've only read Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, so maybe I'm not doing the best comparison, but in my head, those are kind of the similarities that I had grasped, but I ended up giving it a low 3 star. And then in terms of the 5 other books that I read in this vlog, that's right, I read 6 books this past week, which is bonkers. Obviously, Twilight, Volume 1, Volume 2. I didn't really have a solid rating for these books. I mean, Volume 1 I enjoyed more than Volume 2, but they both were just like an interesting way to consume Twilight, I will say. And then Vicious, I ended up changing from a 4 star to a low 3 star, or I think I had like a 3.75, something like that. I rounded down to a 3 star after further reflection because I think I was just disappointed in the book and wanted it to be so much better, so I gave it a higher star rating to kind of trick my brain into thinking I enjoyed it more. But in hindsight, honestly, it was not my favorite. It was pretty average and it won't really stick with me. I can see why it appeals to a lot of people, and I think if I went in with different expectations, I would have enjoyed it more, but I didn't. So definitely a low 3 star for that one. A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, that was a 4.5. I did not end up picking up the second audiobook on the drive home. I ended up jamming out to music a lot of the times, and then near the end of the drive, I started listening to a D&D podcast called Dark and Dicey. I listened to this as it was first coming out, and to revisit, it was just so fun. It's such a ridiculous podcast full of like a really interesting cast of people. It's a fun time, but we're not here to talk about that. Then I also read Throne of Glass, which, fun time, 4 stars, glad I reread it. Don't know if I'll continue this series. I know I've been so back and forth every time I talk about Throne of Glass of might continue it, might not, But honestly, that's me with like all of my reading lately, so no promises. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun visiting Katie and hanging out with Lexie during my trip, and I got way more reading done than I have in a long time. Honestly, this last week of September, I read more books than I did in like the entirety of September, because I had only read 4 books before this trip, and then I read obviously 6 well in Missouri, so a little bit crazy. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you comment down below what books you've been reading or your thoughts on any of the books that I read in this video. I always love to chat books with y'all. Love it so much, and I really do hope to see you in the next one. Toodles!